Alrighty, we're back. Yeah, once you start engraving, you can't go back. So, homemade brownies, chocolate chip brownie, mm, incredible. Anyway, what we're doing today is we're going to engrave a little veteran thing onto a Gerber knife. So I have a little Gerber knife, and in case you're wondering what that looks like, it's already set up inside of the engraver. We just used a little bit of putty to kind of hold it down. And with that, what we're going to end up doing is engraving a veteran, U.S. Army veteran little graphic onto the hilt of that folding knife. So what I ended up doing is taking the knife and then using these things here, most important tool, a caliper to measure the height of the graphic and the area that I wanted to engrave onto the knife. And then what I ended up doing is going into the software and moving it and changing the size so that way it would be the size that I want to put on the knife. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at that. And here is the software. This is Lightburn. I'm on the free, 30-day trial license. And this is the graphic that I got. And I was able to download this. This was for free. And you can find just any type of vector graphics or SVG or JPEGs or BMPs. Pretty much you can engrave or cut. And so that's what we end up having here is this graphic here. And I think that's going to turn out good. Excuse me. So we're going to go over here to the top right. We'll double click on the settings for this. And what I found on the little reference card that I got from, that was included with the K10 is some plated metal as an interval of 0.05, a speed of 100 millimeters per minute at the power of 100. And so what we're going to end up doing is we make sure that we have those. So speed is 100. Max power, we do not have air assist, and we're going to do a fill. Otherwise, it would just do the outline. So we want to fill everything in, and we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, all this fun of trying new stuff. Overscanning is 2.5%, and for those of you who don't know, the laser is going to look at the lines on this, and that's what it's going to engrave. So the laser is going to go along, and it'll turn on, and then it'll turn off, then it'll turn on. And when it gets to the end, so let's say we get up here, it gets to the end, it's going to go past that 2.5 millimeters, and it's going to overscan. And then it'll stop, and it'll turn around, then it'll ramp up again, and then it'll go on and end up starting the laser again. And so the whole idea is with the overscan, your laser doesn't have to slow down to get to the stopping point and turn around and whatever. In other words, you're going to get more clear and precise cuts. So it's at a default of 2.5%. I've seen a number of other YouTubers leave it at that, and they recommend that, and it's like, okay, good, that'll be it. Interval is going to be 0.05, which is the recommendation that we got with the K10, and everything else is pretty much good. It's going to be a fill. We're going to have the output, and we're just going to click OK. So that's what we're going to end up having. And we've already centered this onto our build area. We've already put our knife onto the platform that you can see right down here. Used a little bit of putty to set it in place. We already set the focus level of the laser. I put the knife in there, put the focus level, and we're good. And now we're going to end up doing is framing this to make sure that it's going to be on the area that we want it to go. So there she goes. And that should be the area that we want. Matter of fact, let's get a closer view of this, and we'll frame. And I think that's going to be good. It's centered enough for government work, good enough for government work, so I think that's what we're going to end up doing. So now that we've done that, we just double check everything. 100 for speed, 100 max power, one pass. The interval is good, and if we go up here to the top where we see the computer monitor, that's the preview. This is what it's going to look like. And this is what I was talking about, the overscan. So it will overscan a little bit, so that way it'll do that whole thing. But this should take 55 minutes. Wow. That's a long time. I wonder, do I really want to spend 55 minutes? I wonder if we could do 250. Because on this reference card, it says 100. Stainless steel, it says 100. Stones, it says 300. Ceramic tiles, 100. Slate says 5,000. Ceramic is 1,200. Glass, blackened, is 1,100. Yeah. Wow. That plated metal, that's going to be a while, huh? You know what? I could do 250. And what would that end up making? 22 minutes. Which isn't too bad, I guess. So 250 speed at 100% power. And worst case scenario, if it ends up not being dark enough, I could always just run it again. So yeah, no harm, no foul. Let's double check and make sure that we're good. And I think we are. Let me stand up and do this so I can see it. I think that's good enough for government work. And we will go ahead and in 3, 2, 1, go. So this should take 22 minutes. And so let's take a close-up view of this. Boy, that's doing all kinds of laser stuff. And it's coming through. You can see the line on there. So yeah, I think this might be good. Let's see, I've kind of moved this around, so see if we can move in there a little bit. So you can see we've got the laser going, and again, it's at 250 speed at 100% for a 5-watt laser. Again, it's a Barney Basic laser, and seems to be doing okay. Now, it doesn't say on this reference card, it says plated metal. It doesn't tell you what type of metal. It doesn't say steel, aluminum, it just said plated metal. So this is a little Gerber folding knife that I had, and we'll see what it does. Stainless steel, it says to do 100 millimeters a minute at 100 power. Cobblestones, 300 millimeters a minute at 100%. Not supposed to do silver, not supposed to do pure aluminium or aluminum, however you want to pronounce that. No copper, no gold, which I'm not sure why. Anything harder on here? Black slate, 5,000 millimeters a minute at 50% power. That's interesting. For bamboo, it's like 5,000 millimeters a minute, 50% power. Some more porous material, paper, like a cardboard box, 5,000 millimeters a minute at 30% power. But again, you're going to have to run, regardless of the laser that you have, you're going to have to do a grid test to get the settings and to find out which is the most optimal for the power and the speed settings that you have. Now, the cool thing is that Lightburn has a material test grid that you can make and have X number of columns, X number of rows for your speed and for your power. And yeah, it does all the work for you. So you can really get some good testing done and choose the appropriate settings. Pretty much what I found on this reference card for the K10 or paper is that it gets you on the board, but you'll still need to do some testing to find out the best results for your material, your laser. And it's interesting, I've been reading some stuff where people are talking about how even though they have two of the same lasers using the same material, the same graphics, they will have a little bit of a variation. And so you still need to do individual tests for each machine and material and so on and so forth. So again, you're going to have some differences in material, especially porous materials like wood. So, that was so good. In case you're wondering, it's like the cookie brownie deal thing. So we are about coming up on 4 minutes in, and that's actually turning out kind of good. So I don't know if 100% speed is really necessary. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know, but that looks like it's coming in pretty good. So, and again, this is like a little desktop laser. What does it come in? I can't even remember what the price is on Amazon. Let me see if I can find it. Plain Lux K10. And there it is. There's a 3-watt version and then there's a 5-watt version. I have the 5-watt version, and the 5-watt is $249.99. So $250 is what we end up seeing on Amazon, which isn't too bad, I guess. You know, $250, not bad. You can do a variety of materials. The 5-watt is, I have the 10-watt. I think I have the 10-watt. Yeah, I have the 10-watt, and then there's a 3-watt. A 5-watt? It's 5-watt. So I have a 5, there's a 5 and a 3-watt. I have the 5-watt, and the 5-watt is twice as fast as the 3-watt. I don't know why that was so hard to do. But has the shield on it, so we're looking at it, you know, through that orange shield, which protects your eyes from that range of the laser, the light range. It's got a little exhaust fan, so we just got, it's on, but I just have another room fan blowing air out. If you open the case, it'll stop the laser, and then once you put it back down, it'll continue on, which, I don't know, maybe we should try that out. Should we try it? Let's try it and see what happens. So we're going to go ahead and let me go through. And we'll back up here. And I'll lift this up. And notice how it stops. Hey, it does. It works. Alrighty, that's kind of cool. So for some reason you need to open up the lid. Again, a safety consideration for you if you have children, that, or if it gets knocked over, there's also a tilt mechanism that if it goes past 15 degrees plus or minus 5 or whatever, it'll automatically turn off as well. So yeah, kind of cool. And the accuracy engraving is 0.01 millimeters, which isn't bad. Can cut 3 millimeter pine boards. There's on-off operation. You can actually start the engraving from a button on there. I've never used it. The engraving is 80 millimeters by 80 millimeters, which that equates to basically, 3.14 inches by 3.14 inches. which is that's a small area. But for doing small projects, it's not a bad deal. And so you could definitely do something like knives, AirPod cases, which I don't have mine. I just did an AirPod case for my wife with some graphics in her name, and that looks kind of cool. Let's see. The item weighs maybe 6 pounds. It says 6.98 pounds, but I think that's with everything. And I'll put a link in the description box. And, I was wondering, with something this small, and it feels cheap. I'm going to be honest with you. It feels cheap. It's made of plastic. The majority of the pieces are plastic. It's really kind of rinky-dinky. And so I was like, I don't know how well this is going to go. And then I ended up doing another plated metal engraving, which I set it at 100 millimeters per minute. And to do kind of like a test here that you can see. And this ended up, that took like over 8 hours, almost 9 hours of engraving at a speed of 100 at 100% power. Now obviously I didn't get it centered on this thing enough, but really it doesn't really matter because when I put the little part in here, it's not really noticeable. It's just kind of, hey, I got some plated metal, I'm going to try to engrave it and see what happens. And it actually worked. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, so as far as does this thing overheat? Yeah, I ran it for almost 9 straight hours. In other words, I set it, kind of like Ronco, set it and forget it. And then I woke up in the morning. Thank God there was no fire. But I figured it's metal. I don't think anything's going to get on fire. Woke up and it had done the print. So yeah, not bad at all. Says it has a 10,000 plus hour laser lifespan under 27 degrees Celsius. It's supposed to cut 3 millimeter board, which the board I have been using is like 3.3 millimeters. And you'd have to do 2 passes to cut that. So even with the 5-watt laser, you're going to have some problems with bigger than 3 millimeters, which is slightly bigger than 3 millimeters. And that's at one time, but I found with mine, because it's 3.3 millimeters, you have to do 2 passes. But yeah, other than that, it's a cool little machine, and I really enjoy it. So the other thing I'm thinking about getting is let me show you. So this is, let me back up here. So they got it on Amazon, and there it is, 250 bucks, and that's what you end up getting. And it's not bad. You can also buy materials, and you can buy anything off Amazon. But yeah, leather, metal, paper, cardboard, slate. You can even, I know some people online that have shared their projects of doing slate coasters and stuff like that. So yeah, kind of cool stuff. They have some additional accessories, like you can do tumblers. They have air purifiers. They have an engraving L plate, which is what I ordered from Amazon. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's see what else. The air purifier is the other thing that I'm thinking about taking a look at. That's like $200. So you got the air purifier and the hose, and that will supposedly, you got some activated carbon filters in there, and that might be enough for desktop operation. Yeah, air indicators and filter life indicator and whatever. I don't know, it's power supply, 12 volts DC, 2 amps, air tube, and yeah, it's got a little connection on each side. So I might end up getting that. I don't know. Maybe, but I did get that honeycomb laser bed plate thing. But that might be worth it right there to get that. Replace the filter. I wonder if they have replacement filters. Enclosure, gray, no, I don't see anything. 73%, not bad, not bad. But yeah, it turns out it's a pretty cool little thing that we got there. Let's go back to our laser and see where we're at. We got about just over 9 minutes left. Let's take a closer look. Oh, that's coming out nice. And it's almost like centered where it should be. But like I said, it's close enough for government work. And that is kind of cool. So the cool thing is being able to do knife blades, hilts. I think you could probably do the hilt on, or the blade on this as well. And maybe I'll find some kind of cool Nordic knot thing to do. But at 250 speed at 100%, we'll see how that looks. And compare that, because I did another graphic on the other side at 100%, and so we can have kind of look at the difference between the two engravings. So if we can do 250 and it looks the same as the 100, you know, why take 20, 30 minutes or whatever when you can only do, you know, or why do an hour when you can only do 20 minutes or so. So, but yeah, this is cool. So now that I got this, what I end up doing is looking around the house and it's like, what can I engrave? And for example, I had this bottle that I ended up getting, and it has all these sides, so it's kind of that square shaped ish thing, whatever, octagon, whatever. But if you can see that, what I ended up was engraving that onto the top of this lid. So to make a little T thing on there, I actually got it centered in there real well. And yeah, off of free graphics that I found off of the interweb, and in Lightburn, just used the text tool that is available on that and came up with the little thing like that. So yeah, it turned out really good. Let me see if I can get it in a light where you can actually see it. Yeah, I think that's about as... So yeah, a couple of different speeds there, so we got a little bit of a differentiation between the design and the lettering. But yeah, I just picked this up at the thrift store for like 50 cents, and yeah, that was kind of cool. So not bad. So yeah, engrave everything. But with that, the cool thing is seeing these different items and the different materials and finding vector graphics, stuff like that, that can resize at any size and maintain their quality is really kind of what you want. So something that is really clear, and we're doing the fill on this so it'll fill everything in. Whereas if we did a line, it would just do the outline. So for example, showing this is the graphic that we're doing. If we had set this, it's set on fill now, but if we did line, what would end up happening is it would just print the lines themselves. But since we set it to fill, it'll fill the inside of everything in the individual shapes that we have here. So yeah, some cool stuff. I think it is cool. We got about 5 minutes left. So yeah, that's kind of cool. If you kind of like this video, let me move my chair and carpet around. If you like this video and the information or anything, give the channel a like and subscribe. I appreciate that on the YouTube page, The Varied Life. You can buy me a coffee if you want. There's a link down below in that as well. And for any questions, also have the official The Varied Life Gmail account. So if you ask me questions about some hobby stuff, resin printing, I'm a noob at this. I just started engraving, but for resin printing, I've been doing that for over a year now, so I'm not in noob status anymore. I printed a ton of stuff. do some hobby painting, and since I'm retired in Korea, so some people didn't know that. Some people are like, hey, could you print this out for me, and I'll pay you, and I'll send you the files, and it's like, yeah, I can't really do that because I'm in Korea, and it would just take, for me to send stuff to the United States, takes about a week and a half to 2 weeks. So the shipping would be too much, and so yeah, I just got to tell people, you just got to find. I've had people that said that they wanted me to paint miniatures for them, and it's like, yeah, print and paint miniatures, and it's like, yeah, the shipping's just going to be too much. It would be better to find somebody in the United States for you to do that. But yeah, this is what I end up. This is what I end up doing, being retired in Korea, besides going to the gym. We got some messages. Got something for that. What the heck is that? I ordered some stuff. Oh, okay. So I ordered some 4" by 4" clear glass that are 24 pieces of those, so I can practice doing some laser engraving on glass. So look forward to that, because on stuff like this, I don't want to practice on this because this is pretty nice, even though it's 50 cents. And I got a couple other bottles, smaller bottles, but I have these 24 pieces of 4x4 glass that are going to be coming in the next week. So that's cool. So I'll say thank you for letting me know about the status. Have a good day. So I ordered this. It's in Korean, so they'll get it and it'll be automatically translated. But yeah, they're saying, yeah, it ended up shipped out, and so I do the translate thing. Product ordered, arrived at local logistics center, completed the inspection, was shipped to Korea. So wherever that came from, wherever it was shipped from originally, usually what you'll end up having in Korea is you'll have some middlemen that will advertise on like Naver or Coupon, which is kind of like Amazon, and they will order from overseas, and then they process it, and then it gets sent to you in Korea. So it'll have to go to customs, which isn't bad. We got about 1 minute and 10 seconds left. Oh yeah, that is nice. Yeah, that is going to look good. Not bad at all. If I can do my little project placement thing. Can you see that in the background? There, maybe there, maybe there. Yeah. How's that for a shameless plug? So we're coming up on 15 seconds. And we'll kind of back this up a little bit. We got about 4, 3, 2, 1, and boom, we should be done. Of course, a little bit of lag, and there it is. So let's take a look and see what our knife engraving, how that turned out. So, look at that. I said, yeah, that turned out pretty good. Look at that. Yeah. Nice. Keep it focused. But yeah, that turned out good. A little bit of putty. And now what we can end up doing is we can take a look and see how well this printed out, which actually wasn't bad. Let's get back to the main screen here. So let's just kind of do a real recap. There is the graphic that we ended up doing. And this is the final result. That is not bad. Of course, it's kind of small. I could have made it a little bit bigger, but I wanted to make sure that it would fit on that. Now the other side, that was at 100 millimeters per second at 100% power, so that took some time. But we don't really see that big of a difference. So yeah, that turned out good. I like that. I could have made it a little bit bigger. And then the U.S. Army came in. Let's see if we can get a close-up of that. Focus. Yeah, so the U.S. Army came in halfway. Yeah, that's small, but it's readable and it came in. So yeah. Wow. I'm pretty impressed. So now the next thing we're going to end up doing is I'm going to look for a design to put onto the blade. And that'll be interesting. So I'll have to orientate this so the blade is level with the table, because I don't want to put it there because it's kind of angled down. So we'll have to tilt it up a little bit. Again, we'll use that putty. But yeah, the veteran thing came out good. Not bad for like, what, 20 minutes or whatever it was. What is it? What was the estimated time? Yeah, 22 minutes. Not bad at all. That turned out good. So anyway, yeah, that's what we ended up doing, is doing a little bit of laser engraving onto a little Gerber knife that I got, and that looks nice. That came out really good. You can see a little bit of difference between this graphic here versus the veteran one. This one has a little bit more, you can see that it was burned a little bit more, and you can see it's more of a silvery color. Let's see. There versus that there. So just looking at the colors, you can see that it's a little bit different between that and that. So focus. So not much of a big difference between 100 speed and 250, but that's good to know. So if I definitely wanted something to be a little bit more burned in and see more of the metal, a little bit more silver, yeah, that's good information to know. But other than that, I'm happy with it. So yeah, that's what we ended up doing today, was a little bit of engraving using Lightburn software that we see over there, using our K10, which is down there, which is like a $300 5-watt laser desktop. Pretty cool, 80 by 80 millimeter print area, I guess, or engraving area. Not bad, not bad at all. So anyway, that's what we ended up doing today. I thought that was kind of fun. This will probably be it for engraving today. I don't know, maybe not. I think what I'll end up doing is I'll look for some type of design that I could put on the blade itself. I think that'd be kind of cool. So we'll see what we can do there and try to find a graphic. And obviously I have to clean the blade and trying to get, I'll have to do some type of a jig. So if I put the blade in and it engraves that and then switch it over, then I would have to invert the graphic, but at the same, you know what I'm talking about? A jig, so I don't have to eyeball it and Kentucky windage the graphic, you know, because it's only a entry level laser, so it is what it is. So anyway, that's what we got going on. Thanks for watching and appreciate it. And for those people that have the K10 or any of the Wayne Lux lasers, I think another one is another interesting laser is the K8 laser. K8 Wayne Lux, which they have a K8. So I'm not sure which came out first. Because they have this one here, which is a K8, which is $299, and that's a fully enclosed laser. And so I don't know the K series. Okay, so let's see. So they have the K8, K6, and K10. So they have a K10, K6, and the K8. Why? I'm not sure of the numbering or the the labeling sequence that they have, but let's see, the K6, what laser? K6, $159. You can get it cheaper other places too, but what exactly is it? K6, that's a 3 watt, okay. So what is the K8? There's that. So they have a okay, so they have a 2.5, they have a 5 watt, and then they have a 10 watt laser. So if I was going to do that, I'd get the 10 watt. And it's got some other, it's got doors you can open. So if you have longer items, you still have a small print area, but you could put longer items in there. Same thing, only weighs about 4 kilograms, compact in size, which is 27.2 by 27.2 by 29.4 centimeters, up to 130 millimeters work area, as opposed to 80 millimeters. So what is 130 millimeters, 2 inches? So that's basically 5.1 inches to 5.1 inches. And the bed goes up and down. What? Really? Okay, so it's got the Z-axis thing a little bit, so you can do some higher items. That's interesting. But I wonder if you could do I wonder how high. 100 millimeter height adjustment. Interesting. It has a camera on it too, so you can take photos to locate the carving object on self-developed software. The camera only supports the use of PC on Cut Lab Box, so I don't know if it works on Lightburn. What else do we got? 2 watt, 2.5, 5 watt, and 10 watt lasers. That would be interesting. Do the 10 watt. A number of materials, larger working area, paper, wood, ABS, leather, stone, ceramic, stainless steel, coated metal, and more. And a little desktop thing. 2 megapixel camera, which that's kind of a, let's see what else. Safe, secure. Adjustment, height adjustment that we have there, kind of like what we have on the K10. Air cooled, motherboard, blah blah blah. Says it's compatible with CutLab X, which is the software that they have, GRBL and Lightburn. Okay, interesting. And then it also does JPEG, BMP, PG, JPG, PNG, CatLab X, vector format, DXF, and other graphics. Good for Windows, Mac, and Android, and iOS. because you do the app. Okay, interesting. So if I got that, I would probably want to get the little thing there too, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, that's what we got going on. I thought that would be really cool to just do a video on engraving this little knife hilt with that little veteran thing on there, which turned out pretty good. Focus. That we see there because it doesn't want to focus. There we go. 20 minutes, not bad. Anyway, if you like the video, like and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate it. If you feel the need or the desire to buy me a coffee, there's a link in the description box down below. And as with anything, I am a noob to engraving. So you have tips, tricks, suggestions, playlists, any type of information on that to make me smarter than what I am right now, which isn't much, so I need all the help I can get. Please put that in the comments section down below as well. And yeah, so I think that's going to be it. So, cool stuff. I like it. I like it. All right, we'll see you on the next video. Peace.